Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Holton Talk. Joined today by myself, Scott Acton, Jamie Acton, as always, and we have a special guest today. Nick is joining us. How are we all doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, really good.
Nick's joined him. Have been chatting for the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks on TikTok. He's a bit of a football kit collector. Got chatting about Villa, and just thought I'd get on and we can talk about some Villa kits, some different bits and pieces, and then we'll touch on Villa and the season ahead. I don't really know. Do you want to start with maybe how you got into collecting kits? Because it is like a massive thing now. I mean, I do it a little bit, but nowhere obviously to the degree that you do. But it is becoming a massive thing.
Yeah, of course. So for me, it started from a young age. So the first kit that I got bought by my mum and dad was the 2001, 2002 home shirt. Um, and then from there, it wasn't a case of getting all the kits year on year, but it was more the ones that I sort of took a shine to. So I think the next one after that was probably 2004 to 05. And it's weird because all my family are Villa fans, apart from my dad, who, for his sins, is an Evertonian. So work that one out because we're actually nowhere near there. But yeah, it was sort of my uncles are all Villa fans, so they sort of got me into it. And they go to every game. Unfortunately, I can't go to every game, but they sort of got me into it that way. And then as I've got older and started a family, I thought, well, I need to create some little bit of time for myself. So I thought, well, why not? Let's just sort of dig out the kits that we've currently got and then see if we can add to them in whatever shape or form. And it sort of took off in about March time this year, and it's grown ever since.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite addictive. I mean, I've obviously got Villa kits from a kid. And the episode that me and Jamie did last time, this shirt was the first shirt that I ever had. But
Yeah.
this was I've just kept it now that I can fit into it. And then obviously throughout the years, 2004, then what kit would have that been? I'm just trying to
That
think back.
that was the one. So that was the second shirt that I got. That was the one with Rover on the front. Do
Okay,
you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that
like
one?
under time.
Yeah, so you're looking at like players like Angel, like Marcus Allback, players like that. Like I'm really digging deep there, but yeah. And then with the NTL one was my first ever shirt, and that is tiny. It's literally tiny. So I would have been 6 years old then. Um, but yeah, kept all of them as best I can. So yeah, we've just been growing ever since, really.
Yeah, I've got three. Well, he's nearly 4 now, so my boy is nearly 4, and from him turning 1, he's got every single home, away, and third shirt throughout the years, and at least one shirt's got surname and number on for each year. And
Wow.
obviously, they do it at 18, and hopefully, he'll want to carry it on. Um, Jamie's a bit younger than me, so what year were you born, Jay?
2001, I think.
I remember the.
Yeah.
What,
So so like for me, I was born in '95.
yeah,
So that obviously resembles for me that that shirt's iconic for Villa as well, particularly because obviously we won. That was when we won the League Cup in that season. Well, '94 and then '96, but we wore the shirt from obviously throughout those years. So I've got that shirt. Um, Funny really because I was born on FA Cup final day for '95 when Everton won, which is obviously my dad supports. So it was one hell of a day for him. Um, But yeah, I think if I can pick up kits, particularly ones in Europe from '95, then that'd be great. So if I can add from what I've already got to that, perfect.
yeah. Have you? So, what is you got a favourite Villa shirt?
Yeah, so I've got the '99 to 2000 shirt, home shirt. It's a bit baggy, but yeah, it's certainly up there with one of my favourites there for sure. I don't know if you can see it.
The
Um,
LDV.
Yeah, the LDV one. I really wanted to get Dion Dublin's name on the back, but they're literally like gold dust. I think there was about two that I could find, and obviously they're a bit pricey.
Yeah,
So, but we'll keep looking. We might be able to see if we can do a trade or something with somebody, but yeah, they're a bit sparse.
yeah. That's the year the retro kit that they bought out this year. They bought out the home and away shirt for that year, didn't they? The
Yeah,
white one
yeah,
half by hand,
yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
and then yeah, I mean that is an unbelievable kit. It's just such a class, and kits like aren't like that anymore with the stripes and Villa kit.
No, so yeah, because I went to the club shop the other day, actually, last Friday, I think it was, and you could certainly feel the difference in the quality of the shirt compared to back in the day. And it's just not the same. Like the bagginess is part of it. Like those shirts back in the 90s were obviously baggy. It didn't look like it's not a muscle fit or anything like that for the players these days, but
Yeah,
it's just part of the culture, isn't it? And how things have changed. Um, so yeah, but I definitely want to get the white one, that's for sure. I haven't got that one yet.
yeah. I mean, I wore that to the Palace semi final, and I
We
probably
don't,
won't.
yeah,
Won't
we
wear.
don't talk about that. Like,
I won't wear that season coming
Yeah,
until
well,
we lose, and then
yeah,
I won't wear.
it's a weird one because I either had the choice to go to PSG or the Crystal Palace game, and I thought there's no way I'm missing the PSG match, and I take it you guys went, and I've never ever experienced a game like that in my life. And normally,
Yeah,
when you go down the Villa, it's like it's a weird one. It's either like we just cruise it, or if we go like 1-0 down, it's like all the moaning just happens at once, and they just never seem to really recover. I mean, they do a little bit better now, um, but I've never experienced anything like that. And I wore that 99 2000 shirt to the game, and yeah, it was just a special night, that was for sure.
yeah. We were both there, Jay, weren't we? I mean, that was probably. I thought that we spoke about it on previous episodes, like highlights throughout the season for the season just gone. Um, PSG was just something else, Jay, wasn't it?
yeah, I remember we were trying to decide what was obviously the Bayern Munich one will probably in time become more iconic just for the several reasons. The same score line scored by the guy wearing the number 9 shirt. They're very similar times from when the goals were scored compared to 82 all the way to the Duran goal. So I think as time goes on, we'll remember the Bayern Munich game in like a higher pedigree. But yeah, I mean that PSG game was absolute nuts. It was a complete opposite of what Unai wants in his football team, isn't it? It's just like it was like a basketball match, wasn't it? It was just end to end, and then like when McGinn scored, we were like, oh god, like we can get another one. It's so cliche to say, but you get one in the next 5 minutes, then you can probably do them. Get one in like the next 2.5 minutes, whatever it was, and then it's the absolute chaos. I mean, I was saying that my seat number. Well, we have season tickets, and my seat number is 167. And I remember I ran and I ended up at 174. I was like, I didn't know where I was. Like you're absolutely running everywhere, and you're hugging people you like from 3 rows back that you don't even know. But that's all part of that. Like, that's what makes football so great. That's why we go there all the time, because for moments like that, like Bayern Munich, when Duran scored that goal, it was obviously me and Scott were up there for that one. I was Scott's brother Aaron. He lifted me up like I was Simba from the Lion King, and my feet was on my other Sammy, our younger cousin. My feet was on his shoulders, and then I was celebrating so hard. I looked at my feet, and my left shoe had gone. I didn't know where my shoe had. I don't know where my shoe was. I was celebrating that much, and I just didn't care. I lost my shoe. I was like, "What's going on?" But I'm like, "We're beating Bayern Munich." Like I'm watching Duran, some kid from Colombia, lob the greatest goalie that I've seen in my lifetime, and I'm just like, you compare it to 5-6 years prior, where you're playing Burton Albion and Rotherham away. You really have to kind of pinch yourself sometimes.
Yeah, we come a long way, haven't we? What's your take on like the Adidas kit? From obviously home shirt isn't going to be too dissimilar apparently going into this season. What did you think of last season's shirts?
I love them. I thought they were really nice. I think it was a big step up from Castor because I think there was a bit of an expectation with Castor to become like quality and it's sort of top end across the industry, and then it sort of fell off. And as we saw that, like in the first couple of games, that as they were sweating, it just sort of stuck to them. And
Yeah,
it sort of put a bit of a dampener, didn't it, on the whole Castor thing. And I think a few teams saw that, didn't they? Like Newcastle and other teams. So I think it's always going to be a powerful move going to Adidas, and the quality's there to see, isn't it? Because so many teams use it, and in the 150th year, like it's just a no-brainer. So like I'll always remember that for sure. I've got the away one with Dad one on the back, and like that'll always stay with me for sure. Like even the little intricate details like on the back AV 150 and things like that. I just think it's just going to be an iconic shirt for many years to come. So, and obviously the special kit they brought out for the third round for the FA Cup was mad as well. Because my little boy was actually born on that night. So I was watching the game from the hospital and I was like, we went 1-0 down and I just thought, you know what, this is just typical. And then something sort of switched. He was born, and then I was like, there's no way we're losing this now. And so yeah, as soon as that kit got released to the fans, I certainly got that one.
I haven't got that one. Jay, you bought that one, haven't you? I do want to get that one. I just didn't ever get round to getting it last year. I got the home and the third one from last season. The third shirt, I just love the third shirt. I think the home shirt's class, but I got a lot of love for the third shirt.
Yeah.
But the black FA Cup one was nice. To be fair, something a bit different, the different style badge on it.
I
Definitely.
remember waiting
What?
on the store for that one because they said it was getting released, and they released that. They released a jumper and a few other bits as well. And I remember waiting on the store because I think it was like 9 a.m. on a Friday, and I remember just waiting there, just keep refreshing. And then I remember I got that and the jumper because I was like, you just don't know if they're going to release more or whatever. It was such a unique shirt, and I'm glad I got it, and I got the jumper as well. It was just the red lion with in like a claret jumper, which was quite nice as well. I don't know if you get a lot of tops. I don't know. Do you ever dabble much in like the training gear? Because obviously, like this top I got on here was just from like the training gear from a few years ago. Do you dabble much in like the training tops and like the jumpers and stuff, or is it just match day stuff?
It's really just home and away shirts, and obviously a couple of third shirts. But I do have like a couple of Villa training tops that I just wear to the gym. But yeah, it's just mainly replica shirts or reissues, or if I can get one fairly decently priced online from back in the day that's authentic, then I'll certainly go down that route. Um, do you know what? I think it's just a case of waking up on that day and feeling like, actually, I want to go down this route and get this shirt specifically, and I'll just look and look and look. Like you say, it does become a bit of an obsession. Um, so yeah, I mean, I could literally spend hours looking through different bits and pieces just to see who I can find, and you're just like, oh yeah, he's a good player, and I remember him. Um, so yeah, I just sort of see where the wind takes me with it on a certain day, really.
Yeah.
Have you? I mean, obviously, I'm following you on TikTok, so I know you've got some shirts that aren't Villa related that are proper, like legendary shirts. That the Brazil Roberto Carlos one, um, Carlos six in it for the '98 World Cup. That I mean, yeah, that is an iconic shirt. Have you got a favourite shirt that isn't Villa related?
Um, yeah, so I mean, when I was a kid, I was lucky to go on a trip to Italy, and we went to see Juventus play. I think it was 2005, 2006. Um, and they played Fiorentina and they beat them 5-1 in the cup. And Del Piero scored 3 in that match. I think they beat him like 4-1. And he always stuck with me as like a player that I wanted to watch throughout Europe, and because of his loyalty as well to them, because he had so many offers to leave them, especially when they got done for the match fix. And I was like, I need to get that shirt because like he is just iconic, and he just epitomizes everything about loyalty in football, because really there isn't anything in terms of that these days, which is a shame. And I thought Del Piero is definitely a player that I aspired to be like when I was a kid. Bearing in mind that I was a centre back though, and he was a forward, but that's a different story. Yeah, so the Juventus one is certainly up there. I don't think it's from that season. I think it's from probably 2007, 2008, the one that I've got. But yeah, it was definitely like I need to get an authentic shirt with his name on the back, that's for sure. But yeah, other ones, I've got a Nedved shirt. Obviously, he played in the same team on that day as well. I thought I'll get one of those, which is a Czech Republic one. And then, like you say, the Roberto Carlos one is a remake. Obviously, it's not authentic, but I think it's just one of those shirts that you just need to get, either with his name on the back or Ronaldo R9 from back then, because it's just iconic. Like I remember the first time I wore it, I was walking down the street, and these lads were like, Brazil '98. They walked past me, and as I turned round, they were looking to see who was on the back, and it just shows you like how powerful that shirt actually is, and obviously there's a lot of passion for football shirts in general from a hell of a lot of people. So yeah, just had to get that one.
Yeah, do you think there's a? I mean, I'll put it to both. Do you think there's a reason why football shirts have become such a massive thing now? Because like there's a. I mean, I follow you on TikTok. There's a couple of others that I follow, but actually collecting kits now is such a massive thing. Do you think there's any reason why it's become such a big thing?
Um, I'm not sure. I don't know whether. I mean, this is a bit left field in terms of what I'm going to say, but like nights out and not the same. Like I don't know how you feel. Like I'm 30 years old, and nights out are great, but from my point of view, I would rather spend that money on a passion that I've got now. Like I think I'm
Yeah,
probably just showing my age if if I'm being honest. Um,
but
but
don't
like
worry, I'm 37, so it's
but
fine.
like but like rather than spending it on like nights out where you could easily get rid of 150, 200 quid, no bother. I'd rather put it towards something that I'm gonna be able to keep and then pass on to my children if they wanted to do so. Like I'd rather do that if I'm honest, but I don't know whether it's an age thing. I'll put it down to that. What's your
Do you
thoughts?
know? Do you know what it is? Yeah, what you said there. I actually had a similar conversation with one of my best friends, Elvis, because he knows that I love getting bits and bobs. I'm actually more into like the training gear and like the one-off jumpers and stuff more so than the match day. I still get the match day kits, but I I wear the training stuff more. Um, and I would always get like majority of the training gear and ones that stick out to me. And he said he was like, Jay, like it's becoming an obsession. You kind of got to stop. But then I said to him, I was like, your exact reason. I was like, mate, I could go on a night out. Like I'm spending, say, 55 quid on a jumper or whatever. But I was saying to him, I was like, I could go on a night out and spend treble that and do my body harm. Whereas I'm not doing no one no harm. I'm just, again, following a passion. And for me, I like to get like, because that you're on about the FA Cup top, the one off that we had against West Ham. That top I'll remember like for years gone by because again it's a one-off top. You know, like people always talk about a Luke Roper top. You know, that's the top we got promoted in. You remember it, and I think me and Scotty were talking about the like the turquoise Acorns top, the one Gabby away at the Emirates. It's just like you remember that, and you think of Larson, and it's just like you look at a kit or for me, I look at a jumper or a training kit, whatever. It reminds me of a player. It reminds me of so many things. And like you said, like for me anyway, I'm in a similar boat to you. I mean, I'm only 23, but I have quite an old mindset on me in the sense of, I'd much rather spend it on a kit than than going out. So yeah, I'm in the same boat with you on that one.
Yeah, just to add to that as well, I think like with all the pressures of life, how it actually is currently, like it takes you back to what you were like as a kid, and like all the memories, as you say, like it just takes you back to those days. And remember playing in the 2004 kit as a little kid, um, and just playing football. Just everything was much more simple back then, wasn't it? So, and sometimes it's not a bad thing to take yourself back there. And I think this is where the football kits come in, because it reminds you of how you were as a kid and like how much simpler life was back then.
Yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia. I think yeah, you see a kit and you'll think of either a player, a moment, like you said, the Luke Roper one. You'll think of the playoff. The 95, 96 ones. You think of like the League Cup final and like Milosevic and York and Taylor scoring against Leeds. Um, there's always something that goes with said kit, especially if Villa have done well in said kit. Obviously, that does make a difference. I personally just think it's just seemed to be a lot more cooler now. Like, how often do you walk, you go to somewhere and every single kid's got a shirt on? I mean, and I'm talking from like my own experiences now. But we were somewhere at the weekend, and like my boy would always be in a Villa shirt, but every other kid is either in a PSG, Inter Miami, Al Hilal, or whatever, what mate, whatever else. So yeah, I just think it's quite cool now. To be fair, obviously some people take it to the next degree. I mean, me and Jay were talking about um, looking into getting a Charlotte FC tops because of obviously the Dean Smith connection.
I was going to mention this as well about Charlotte stuff.
Spoke about it before we come on in regards to you now starting to maybe look into collecting old Villa players that have moved. We started looking into Charlotte. I mean, I've got shirts from other teams. I know Jamie doesn't really do that, but I've got like the classic Fiorentina one that I loved, the Real Madrid one that was like a mystery shirt box. So I just thought I'd dabble in that. I went to Budapest on a stag do and got a Puskás Budapest kit, which like I'd never seen before. But we were thinking about getting a Charlotte one because of the Dean Smith connection.
I'll
Like,
get Ashley Westwood on the back.
back. I know you've obviously just got the Tammy shirt from Roma.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to start looking into that. I know again, like you were saying, it's quite hard to pick them up though.
Yeah, so I think the other day I looked at an Adoma shirt, but my God, can you find one of those? Because Unks he was just class, wasn't he? And like his personality shines through still. Like even though he's playing is he still at Walsall? Is he?
He was
Uh,
there.
He signed a new
so
deal last week, didn't he?
I did, yeah. So yeah, he's
Yeah.
there enough.
yeah, and obviously he was a massive part in the way that, well, in terms of where Villa are now, he was a massive part of it, and it's just players like that that you want to sort of grab hold of. But yeah, if I can find shirts that are a connection to Villa, like obviously walking down the street, people aren't gonna have a Scooby Doo as to why that player's on the back of the shirt, but for me, it makes sense. Um, so I mean that's the sort of tack that I'm sort of using in terms of the collection that I'm building. I might have to get another rail because it's actually bursting at the seams. I don't know if you can see behind, but literally it's bursting.
Yeah, yeah. You'll have to get another rail.
Yeah, well, we're due to move house in a couple of weeks, so it's going to be a bigger house. So I think another rail's definitely going to be a worthwhile cause.
No, Jay, you got anything else to touch on in regards to shirts?
The only other thing I'd say is what I like to do sometimes is that we'd go to. It happened away at Alkmaar in the Conference League group stage. We'd go away to somewhere that doesn't allow like betting sponsors because we had BK8 and then we had the Acorns Foundation. I think when we beat them 4-1. I sometimes because I didn't mind that kit, but I didn't like the BK on it. But when we had the Acorns on it, I basically bought it and got someone to put the Acorns bit on it. And I just don't know if you've ever done that before, maybe because obviously, like I said, sometimes you go to, now we're in Europe. It's happened a few times where we'd go there with Acorns or go there with nothing sometimes. I don't know if you've ever dabbled in changing over the sponsor on a few of your kits because I think I've got two. I think where I've changed over to Acorns.
No, I've never dabbled in that, but from the design aspect of it, it looks class, and I don't know
Mm.
why they don't do it more. Um, Particularly if they've got something going on in terms of like the children's hospital or hospice that they sort of look after and help with. I don't know why they just don't do it more, or at least put it somewhere on the back of the shirt, like right at the bottom. Because I don't know if you saw like the Roma one that I've got. Like they have a car sponsor at the bottom, and I don't know. There's just so much space that could be filled. Because there's a lot of teams, isn't there? Like if you look at the South America teams, their shirts, there's actually no room. You can't actually see the colour on it because there's just so many sponsors on it.
Yeah.
And I just don't know why clubs don't do that more.
Yeah, it's a good point. I noticed teams in Germany they have like obviously more sponsors on the back. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Is that Premier League rules or you
Possibly.
without actually delving into it? Yeah, but yeah, who knows? I mean, yeah, I think it's great. I love collecting shirts. The trouble is, you've obviously got to stop yourself from spending a fortune.
Yeah, try and limit yourself to one a month or something like that, but it's incredibly hard.
Yeah,
Limit yourself to one a day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can look at one a day, but I don't know about buying one a day. But yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
nice to be able to be in a position to do that.
yeah, 100%. We'll wrap this one up there, and then we'll film another one and just get your thoughts on obviously the season ahead and whatnot. Because my microphone is about to run out of battery, so
No worries.
we'll jump on. We'll just do another little bit on the season and go from there.
Perfect. Great stuff.
He just fucking left us.
He's gone. He's had
He's
enough.
gone. No, he's left us. Oh no,
Oh,
he's back.
might be all right now.
maybe, mate. It's still going.
Oh, there you go. We're all right then.
Yeah, we're on 28 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, it might have been my end. It come up that my microphone had stopped working, but I didn't know if you could still see me or not.
No, you're right, mate.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we obviously again we said before we started recording. I think mainly because of the PSR stuff, there hasn't obviously been a great deal of movement in terms of transfers and whatnot. Hopefully, now that seems to be sorted due to the sale of the women's team or a percentage of the women's team, we'll start to see a little bit more movement. As of today, what are you expecting from next season?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because we don't actually know how much they've got to spend. Um, I know the first signing that they've made is a free agent, which is slightly worrying. But we don't actually know how much they've got to spend. But I don't know why they just don't look closer to home. I mean, I think in order to consolidate what we've built on the last two seasons, I think they should really give the Europa League a good crack. I mean, it's Unai's competition after all, so like there is a bit of expectation there, isn't there? Um, but yeah, I think there needs to be a bit of squad depth. I think we might see a couple of players going out the door, unfortunately, and I don't necessarily think it would be a good move. So maybe people like Ramsey, who's homegrown, and we might lose another couple of midfielders, which I think that's where we sort of ran out of steam a little bit throughout the season just gone. Um, I mean, it'd be great to be able to add to it and not lose any of those, but I think we certainly saw that we ran out of steam, like probably three-quarters of the way through the season. And in terms of attacking options, like we saw Rodgers sort of fell off the wagon a little bit with like half a dozen games to go, and I think that was a massive reason as to why we didn't get into that top five. So I think they need to recruit well. I mean, bit controversial, but I think we've probably seen the best of Ollie for sure, and I don't actually think I'd mind if we did cash in on him and maybe look elsewhere. Who to bring in though is a different matter, isn't it? There's not many top class strikers out there that you could probably name that would want to come to Villa because we didn't actually make that top five. I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
Well, I mean, so we're in a Villa WhatsApp chat with it's us two, my brother, and both of our dads. Now, the conversation that we had after the Man United game was us not getting the Champions League is a massive knock on to everything that comes down the line in terms of bringing players in, players wanting to stay. I'm in both sides of the Watkins camp. I don't think we'll get a better player than Watkins and what he brings. Now, I think if we're in the Champions League potentially, but I also don't think there's a great deal of top number nines out there, which is the issue. But then to flip that, I'm not sure if we're going to sell him and we're selling him because we want to get a high fee. This is probably the last summer to do it. I think.
Yeah.
Today and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more of Watkins in than I'm Watkins out. But that's mainly because I look at all the other top teams in the league, and you can take out Isaac, Haaland, and maybe if you want to, obviously Liverpool's slightly different with the way that they, with the wingers, but there's not that many class number nines. I mean, like Chris Wood had an unbelievable season last year, but like, is he going to do that this year? And you can go down a lot of the teams and say, how many of them teams have got strikers that are going to get you 15 to 20 goals? So it would be replacing him would be the worry. I know, Jay, you're more in keeping the Watkins or getting him gone.
Yeah, I mean, I often play things quite safe, so yeah, I'm probably more Watkins in, like both of you have alluded to, like who's out there in terms of elite number nines. Like you're not going to get one in our budget that will want to come to us that's better than Watkins. Like I said, you got Isaac, Haaland. Gyökeres isn't going to come to us. I was looking, at forwards that could come to us and would be kind of either on par with Ollie or maybe just below. One of them is Jonathan David. I think he's signed for Juventus now, so that one's kind of gone. I won't be able to pronounce his name because I'm awful with names, but the Georgian striker plays for Lyon. Obviously, Lyon have just been relegated, so he's bound to move. I liked him; he was very good in the Euros last summer. So getting someone like that, but then again, it's how much are these clubs going to demand for a fee? So yeah, okay, you sell Watkins for argument's sake, let's say 50 million. How much are you then going to have to fork out to replace him when, if we're being real, there's, you're probably looking at a right centre half, at least one goalie if Martinez stays. People have been saying about the right back position for a number of years now. So, and again, you're looking at a winger if Bailey goes. So, especially with Rashford and Asensio, you're going to need a winger regardless. So, for me personally, I would like him to stay unless it's a situation where United have bidded 55 million and he goes, then I could probably be happy with that because again, like you said, Scotty, you're cashing in. This is the last time that you could get a big fee. He could go in and score 25 league goals. No matter what he's doing, the age is going to determine how much money he's worth. So this time next summer, he's going to, that instead of 55, you're going to be looking at 35, 40. That's just the nature of the game. So for me, I would keep unless a decent offer came in, not the one that Arsenal gave in January, because that's a slap in the face.
Yeah, I mean, is there any? I mean, me and Jamie have spoke about it on previous episodes, but any positions that you think we definitely need to improve on, Nick?
Um, well, I think probably the wingers might need to be looked at. I just don't think we were cutthroat enough, and getting the ball to the byline was certainly a big thing. It was all a bit safe. Um, so I think that's definitely something. I actually went on a trip to France to Nantes, and they have an electric winger. I mean, he literally ran the show. He was so quick. Moses Simon. I think he's been looked at like a couple of Prem teams, but somebody
Yeah, he's
definitely needs to pick him
Nigerian, I
up.
think. Nigerian, I think he
Yeah,
is. Yeah, I know you're on
yeah.
about. Yeah.
Somebody definitely needs to pick him up, and I think he'd be a great fit because that's exactly what he does. He gets the ball to the byline and knocks it in. Um, because obviously, I think Emery decided to focus on Watkins and keep him more central because he was literally running around like a bit of a headless chicken when he first came in, which was great for us in terms of work rate. But there was nobody in the box when the possession sort of flipped because he was obviously out of position. So he's kept him more central. So if you get somebody like that on the wing and Watkins is in the middle, like it just makes perfect sense because we need to be creating more chances, that's for sure. And rather than playing the safe ball back to the right back or the left back and then going into the middle, like it sometimes becomes a bit predictable, doesn't it? Um,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely the wingers. Like you say, goalkeeper needs to be. We need to get that one done early, particularly like before pre-season starts, um, because you lead from that position, they can see everything in front of you. And if you've got a commanding goalkeeper, and what was shown in like previous seasons is as soon as Olsen comes in, there's a bit of doubt there at the back, isn't there? So yeah, if we can sort of nail that down and get if Martinez goes and we get somebody who's consistent, then we can build from there. I believe, and I mean the manager's got so much credibility. Like the Villa fans will trust what he does. Um, and I think that's all we've got to do really. And again, maybe look more internally. Like Milan didn't get much time, did he? And look what he's doing for his national team. Like it just makes perfect sense to throw him in there. And is he the competition that Watkins needs, rather than a big name such as Rashford?
yeah, I think it's a big season for him. Yeah, I think he was signed in January more for this season. Um, I think we need pace. I think since Diaby left, we haven't really replaced like Diaby's pace going forward. What, like you said, we can be a bit safe at times, and obviously we are quite heavily reliant on Morgan. Um, and I mean, we've spoke about it loads of times on a few of the episodes that we've done. Like, if Rodgers is fit, Rodgers plays. So yeah, you could see towards the end of the season he was starting to tire, but Emery just absolutely loves him. So if he's fit or half fit, he's starting. It will be interesting. I think obviously over the next couple of weeks we'll I think we'll have a bit more of an idea. We've obviously got to I think trim the wages down for the UEFA rules. Sorting out Martinez is a big one in terms of if he's staying, happy days. I don't think there'll be any complaints, but if he does go, like you said, we've got to get a replacement in quickly. Um, have you got like a dream signing that you done? We done an episode where we threw a few names into the hat, maybe a bit unrealistically, or not any one player you'd like to see us go for.
Dream signing. Do you know what? I've never thought of that. I've never actually thought about that. I think it's difficult with the position that we're in because we're obviously going into like Europa League. But if they could get maybe, I mean, bit controversial and we're looking back a little, but I'd love to see Jack come back. I'd
Yeah,
absolutely love that.
we've spoken about it. Don't worry, we definitely we spoke about this on a few episodes ago. We were all in the same boat of if it can be done, we'll take him just for the nostalgia. So I'm going to.
If we're looking
Yeah,
for nostalgia, let's get Brad Guzan back.
God, yeah, we'll be playing Birmingham in the Championship if we're not careful.
No, I mean, I would definitely take Jack back.
I think it's not the fact that he would be coming back as much. I think it's the fact that we'd all be intrigued to see what Emery did with him,
Yeah,
because Emery knows exactly what he wants from his players. Like when Jack was there, he took the team by the scruff of the neck and dragged us through and kept us up. Like he was that player, and obviously now Man City have turned him into something that he's not really known for, and obviously he's just fell further and further behind. I mean, it'd be great to see him energized and have that passion back, and I just think it's a no-brainer. I really hope they pull it off. I really do, but it's obviously depending on what he wants to do. But like you said, he never really wanted to leave, but he felt like he had to go and win some trophies. He's done all that now. Come back and come and win a trophy back with us. That would be the dream scenario, wouldn't it?
yeah. I think the longer the window goes on, and maybe he hasn't signed for anyone. I think that the chances of us maybe doing a loan or something like that would definitely work. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd be all for it. Jay, you got a dream signing? We'll just throw it out there to you. Just
Yeah,
one.
I don't know if I don't know if you guys was watching the obviously like any football journalist today, but it came out that Denzel Dumfries has a his release clause of 25 million till mid July. So literally got like a 2 week period where he's at 25 million. So that would be mine. Again, slightly unrealistic. You know, he's just lost in the Champions League final. Is he going to drop down to a team in the Europa League? But
I also thought today he was getting linked with Barcelona.
you don't know. You don't know.
Similar colours.
Yeah, similar colours. Yeah, but nah, mine would be Dumfries. But you asked for dream signing, so that's a dream. Or Brad Guzan. Either I'll be happy with both.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, no, that's looking far too back for my liking. Um,
right.
It's
Tell me
mad.
about.
It's mad that he's still playing.
is he? He must be
Yeah,
about 55 now.
he's captain of Atalanta in America.
Is he?
Yeah,
God,
yeah, yeah. He's
I
only
mean, he had
recently
no, he had.
retired from the US squad.
God,
I
Yeah, I
think
know.
yeah.
that says more about the MLS than it does about Guzan.
It does. uh,
Yeah. Okay. Well, perfect. Look, what we'll do is we'll leave it there. Nick, maybe we'll get you on when we know a bit more what's going on with Villa's squad and what it's looking like. If you want to jump back on at some point, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Um, do you want to give your TikTok page a shout out? I mean, we've got millions of subscribers, so
Yeah, maybe if we put them together, we might actually make it famous between us.
yeah, mate.
But yeah, my page is called Kick and Collect Threads. Just something nice and jazzy. Yeah, feel free to follow me. Like I'll just put loads of random content up. Lots of it is Villa related, and yeah, just follow my page just for a bit of a journey as to see who I add to that collection.
Yeah, well, when I upload to YouTube, I'll leave a little link in the comments so people can go and yeah. But yeah, no, you've got some cool shirts on it. Like I said, that's why I reached out to you. Because it's good collection. It's always good to see different Villa kits as well.
it's
You
good
know,
to get a different perspective as well from a Villa fan because we're used to just us two and Azzy's comments. So it's nice getting. Obviously, we had Dan on, didn't we, before for the United game and like hearing his like take on stuff. It's nice hearing a different point of view sometimes. So
yeah,
I think us two are quite level headed. Like we don't get too big for our boots and we're not too down in the dumps. I think we're quite level headed. So it's nice to just get a different sort of perspective, isn't it? Sometimes.
yeah. We normally have similar kind of a similar look on it, don't we? So yeah, it's good to get
Yeah.
a voice on. and whatnot. So yeah, thanks for coming on, Nick. I really appreciate it.
No worries, lads. No, I appreciate it. Look forward
Uh,
to doing it again.
yeah, and like I said, yeah, if you want to jump on, we'll stay in touch, and yeah, hopefully we'll get you on before the season starts. Because I'm sure we're all counting down now. Not long to go. Not long to go until.
Yeah, it's about 45 days, isn't it? Something like
Yeah, I mean,
But who's counting, eh?
that.
yeah, yeah, perfect. We will wrap it up there. Unless Jay, you got anything else that you want to touch on?
No, I'm all good, man.
Oh, actually, do you know what? We were touching it just to bring a bit of sadness to the end of the episode, but obviously, Diogo Jota died today, so I mean, totally out of the blue. And I know he played for Wolves, but obviously, yeah, not good news. You wouldn't want it, wouldn't wish it upon any Villa player. So we better send our thoughts and whatnot to his family and to Liverpool. Because yeah, that was a bolt out of the blue. Really, I think when everyone got the notifications up today. So yeah, thoughts and prayers and stuff with his family and loved ones. But yeah, we'll end it there. Up the Villa as always.
I'll be Villa, mate.
Up with Villa.